In this episode, we're looking at mountain environments from our social studies unit from our Smart Start. At the end of today's lesson, you will be able to define the concept mountain, mountain range, peak, plateau, summit or peak, and slope. Name and locate major mountains in Jamaica and on the continents. Gather information from multiple sources and use it to describe the activities, goods produced, and services that are carried out or offered in mountainous or hilly environments. Then draw conclusions about the importance of mountain or hill environments. Jamaica is known for its mountains, especially the Blue Mountains, the largest. Most of the mountains are located in the interior of Jamaica and form a central backbone from west to east. The mountains in the eastern section of Jamaica are the highest. Now let's look at some vocabulary. Peak, the highest point of a mountain. Range, a series of connected mountains. Plateau, a flat top mountain. And slope, the side of a mountain. So I have asked you already to have your social studies dictionary or glossary, and you could add these words to your glossary. Some of the mountains of Jamaica have forest reserves, which are home to indigenous plants such as the blue maho and animals such as the giant swallowtail butterfly and the Jamaican boa. That's a snake. These forest reserves are preserved as national parks by the National Environment and Planning Agency, or NEPA. Engage. Use the key or legend on a map of Jamaica to identify mountain ranges and peaks. And I can tell you already that sometimes a little triangle is used to show the summit of a particular mountain, and we have different colors that will help us to understand elevation or height above sea level. It continues by saying list the 5 largest mountain ranges based on their height above sea level. Again, you could have used the word elevation here. Explore. Use Google Earth to locate the height of the mountain peaks in your country. Explain, and here we have a table. It says a mountain is a landform that rises above 600 meters. In some books they are saying 500, but recently I spoke with a geography teacher, and they say officially at the CXC level they recognize 600 meters above sea level as the starting point for a mountain. So that's the one that we're going to work with, okay? The colors that represent mountains on a map include white, purple, and brown. However, on the map of Jamaica, the mountains are only colored brown because of their heights. Table 1 shows the major mountains and the parish in which each is located. So here we go now. We have parish and mountain. So Trelawney, we have the Cockpit Country, the Dry Harbor Mountains. St. James, Cockpit Country. Hanover, Dolphin Head. Westmoreland, Negril Hill, Mount Pelion. St. Elizabeth, the Santa Cruz Mountains. Manchester, the Mayday Mountains. Clarendon, we have the Bullhead Mountains and the Moko Mountains. St. Catherine, Mount Pelion, Juan de Bolas, and Mount Diablo. Kingston, officially, no mountains. St. Andrew, Blue Mountains, Red Hills, and Long Mountain. St. Thomas, Blue Mountains. Portland, Blue Mountains and the Drunk Row Mountains. St. Mary, Mount Telegraph. St. Anne, Dry Harbor, the Dry Harbor Mountains, and Mount Diablo. Now I want you to pay attention to something here. Some people call things that are high mountains. Some people may call things that are mountains hills. Okay? Geographers have a way of defining mountains based on a standard height, but people just call certain things hills and mountains. So take this for example. If we go back to our table, it says in St. Andrew, we're looking at mountains, and here we have one called Red Hills. Now, Red Hills is not a hill because it's above 600 meters. So it really is a mountain, but has been named a hill. Understood? Pay attention, especially when you're using Google Earth to go through these things. Look at the height above sea level, and you can define if it is truly a hill or a mountain. I heard recently that in Barbados, the highest point is called a mountain, when in fact it really is a hill. So when you're doing your Google Earth search, you can go to Barbados and look for the highest landmass that's there, the highest point that's there rather, and then you can see whether it would truly be a mountain or a hill. Let's continue now. Extend. It says complete table 2 with the name of the highest peak and longest mountain range for each continent. And we have continent, peak, and range. So Africa, we have the peak, and just from memory, the peak here would be Kilimanjaro, and the mountain range would be the East African Highlands. Next one says Antarctica. So Antarctica has the mountain range being the Sentinel Range and the Vinson Massif being the highest peak there. We go to Asia. Asia would have the Himalayas being the range and Mount Everest being the peak there. Let's see, Australia has the Great Dividing Range and a mountain I can't call properly at all, but the spelling is Kosciuszko, right? That's the peak there. For Europe, we would have Mont Blanc, and that would be in the Alps as the mountain range. North America, we're going to have the Rocky Mountain Range and Mount McKinley. And for South America, we're going to have the Andes as the mountain range and what I believe to be Mount Aconcagua. Okay, as in Aconcagua. So you can double check all of that information, and this is in the textbook as well. We had done this in class before, and if you have the time and you double check the textbook, we should be on page 87. That gives us not only the continent, the mountain range, the peak, but also the country and the height. For example, for the Sentinel Range and the Vinson Massif, that the highest point there would be 4,892 meters above sea level. Compare that with the highest point on Earth, which is Mount Everest. That's over 8,848 meters. The country, the Nepal and China border. So you get more information from the text as well. And you could also find more information from your online search. So let's go now to evaluate. It says here, word link. Use resources available to find out how the activities carried out on mountains affect humans in a positive or negative way. Example, positive, observing wildlife, indigenous and endangered plants and animals. It provides a relaxing atmosphere for nature lovers. The negative, though, is that deforestation contributes to climate change, which includes global warming. As a result, more fuels are used to generate electricity, and humans spend more for electricity due to the increased use of appliances to cool homes and workplaces. So one thing just leads to another. We strip the hills of the vegetation that increases the what? The carbon dioxide in the air, because we have less trees to pull out the carbon dioxide, and it creates a what? Warmer environment. As a result, we have to spend more money now on fossil fuels to cool our houses. But at the same time, in the process of cooling the houses, we're adding more carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. So we have found ourselves in a deadly cycle. It says here for self-link, Dr. Agri Irons Center, make a journal entry expressing your views on the importance of mountains. Body link, make a model of a mountain, label the summit or peak, range, and slope. Social link, Mary Sequel Center, create a blog and discuss the goods produced and the services carried out or offered on the Blue Mountains. Nature link, Dan Macaulay Center, name 2 plants that thrive in the mountains. And we know that coffee would be one of those plants that thrive in the mountains, because we have the world famous Blue Mountain Peak coffee here in Jamaica. Finally, number link at the Albert Einstein Center, give the height of the highest peak on each continent. Okay guys, that's a nice little wrap up of this concept of mountain environments. Go out and do the work that was asked of you. Do those sections from the body link, social link, nature link, and so on, to enrich and extend your experiences. We'll see you in the next episode.